When the lights go down, the truth comes out.
Tucker, you are not the father. This has to be wrong!
After Hours with Alex Stein. No filter.
If it was okay to have anal sex.
No apologies.
You were talking about things that probably you shouldn't talk about.
The undisputed king of trolling.
I finally had my own show! At one point, your ancestors owned slaves.
They tried to cancel us.
Deplatforming works.
He wants to kill babies, but she's still beautiful. Look at that booty on AOC. That's my favorite big booty Latina.
Politics, culture, hypocrisy.
They want them to have their penises cut off.
Uncensored and uncontrolled.
Cut your penis off, Max.
That's what I'm saying. They admit they want to cut people's penises off.
Late night just got dangerous. After Hours with your host, Alex Stein, starts right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to After Hours with Alex Stein right here on Real America's Voice. Now, tonight we got a great episode for you. We have my very good friend, you know her, you love her, the one, the only Lila Hart sitting in with us in studio. Now, Lila, we were just talking before we started the show. You went to a very fun event called the LPA, Little People of America. So can you tell us a little bit about what that event was like and some of the craziness that happened at this event?
It was so much fun. This year, it was in New Orleans, and every year it's in a different city all across the country.
And what is it, though? Tell me what it is.
It is a conference for little people. So anybody with a type of dwarfism or just small, you know, I have spina bifida, but it's just all different little people. And for a week, we get to feel like what everybody else feels.
But do people try to sneak in, like tall people try to sneak in?
No, they would notice.
I know, but I'm saying, like, don't some of these people have, like, you know, caretakers that are normal size?
Well, sometimes there's, like, they do. So
yes.
You can still, there's family members as well who are regulars. So like the parents, like maybe parents have a baby that has dwarfism, they're there to meet other people so they feel less alone and to know that their child will grow up and be okay. And there's siblings who are regular size. So you are able to go as a person who doesn't have dwarfism if you're associated and you know someone who has dwarfism.
And then you were saying that earlier, this is where a lot of people meet their significant other.
Yeah, a lot of couples are made here and they repopulate and make more little people.
Well, you know, two little people can have a big person.
Yeah, so it's, it's a 50-50 chance.
That is crazy to think about. Well, okay, we're going to get into that a little bit later, but we got to talk about breaking news. Now, I know a lot of people that watch this show might not know who this person is, but he goes by the name Daniel Larson. Daniel Larson was a social media sensation for basically being retarded. I don't know how else to describe him. Seriously, he is. He has like a serious mental illness.
Okay.
And he went to federal prison because he was like writing letters saying that he was going to attack the White House and he was going to do a lot of bad stuff, but this guy can't even tie his shoes. And it got so bad, he kept doing the threats kept going viral. So eventually the federal government got involved and they actually arrested him, and he's been in jail for a long time. So for the people that don't have any idea who Daniel Larson is, let's just play this little compilation of clips, some of his highlights.
Happy Ramadan, everybody. Allah Akbar. Nothing is better than the chocolate-covered hot dogs. Well, Scooby-Doo. Thank you to all my fans for the 1 million views on Google.
Can I get a picture?
I'm not allowed. Sorry.
How come?
We have a new trademark.
What's trademark?
Trademark is all it means is like I don't own my image anymore. This is a message to Quandale Dingle. Please stop messaging me. Go to hell.
Now, I know that was a short clip. You can't really get the whole entire perspective of who Daniel Larson is, but just tell me, I'm trying to tell you, there's thousands and thousands of hours of him acting like this, and he goes and he'll go to a restaurant, try to order food, and long story short, you can tell that he has a serious mental illness, correct?
Yes.
And so, would you think that he would be somebody that would actually be able to overthrow the government?
No.
Yes. And so he made some TikTok videos where he's like, I'm going to invade the White House and take over the presidency, basically acting like he was an insurrectionist. And today, he finally got out of jail. He was in jail for over 2 years, and now he's going to be on a 3-year probation. So, which I'm sure he's going to violate within the first hour of getting out of jail. But we just want to give a big shout out to one of my favorite content creators, Daniel Larson. And if you have not seen him, I encourage everybody, please go on YouTube, go on Twitter, go on Instagram, and type in Daniel Larson. And there are about 20 different documentaries describing some of his craziest antics. Now we got to get into some other news. Are you familiar with The View, Lila?
Yes, I am.
Do you like The View?
Not really. I mean, it's okay.
I mean, I was actually surprised JD Vance went on there and they treated JD Vance. They ended up kind of liking him. I thought they were going to be, I thought they were going to be a little hard on him. It seemed like they kind of ended up kind of siding with him towards the end of the show. But one of the hosts of that show is a woman by the name of Sunny Hostin. She is an attorney and she's an African-American woman. She's very attractive. And her son was recently on a jog, and I don't think her son did anything too crazy, but they tried to arrest him for trespassing. So let's play a little snippet of that so you guys can get an idea of what we're talking about.
What's your name, sir?
I'm Brian.
Brian, is that your badge number 2814?
Yes. So the reason we're stopping you, this is trespassing right here.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was open over there. I was just walking on a run here.
Where are you coming from? All the way over there?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'm sorry. I just looked open for me, so I just walked in.
So this is considered trespassing. It's criminal trespass.
Okay, so you got an African-American guy, running around in an open gate in an industrial area, and, that's possible. I like to go walk and exercise a little bit. But what does he do? First thing he does when the cops get involved, he calls his mom, and guess how she identifies herself? Let's play that clip.
Hey, Mom, how are you? This is Officer Gomez. Your son's fine.
Officer Gomez,
how are you?
This is
Yes.
former federal prosecutor.
Okay,
That's
fair
my
enough.
son.
Yeah.
He's a Harvard graduate.
Yeah.
He's not a criminal. He has no criminal record, no criminal history.
Mm-hmm. Yes. No, I understand that. The issue is, like I told your son, is this is considered criminal trespassing. So besides being illegal, it's actually very dangerous for him to be around the railroad tracks. We get people that get hit all the time. So we make this a big issue because it's a serious thing. People get hit.
I understand.
Yeah.
Thank you for protecting him.
No problem.
So she identifies herself as a host of The View. It's like that officer cares. Ooh, The View, who cares? But then things get a little crazier. Let's play shot number 3.
As an updated address, we're in front of...
Have you told about this, Steve?
Absolutely, yes. Do you mind explaining him the summons, Bill?
Yeah. And is this on my record?
It's a violation.
It's a violation.
I'm sorry, as an updated address, you stated it. Just send by the location?
It's,
And so, listen, a lot of people are criticizing Sunny for trying to help out her son. This is the last clip we're going to play about it, and then we'll give you our commentary about it. But she's just trying to get her son out of a ticket. I think anybody's parent would do that for their son or daughter, even if their son or daughter was committing a crime. But that's neither here nor there. I think in this situation, she knew that her son probably wasn't committing a serious crime. Let's play this last little clip.
Well, we have cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
If we didn't see you, somebody would have called it over.
correct.
And
There was too many trains coming in and out of there to not.
I hate to
not
say
see
it,
you.
it's like my partner said, our hands are tied. It is what it is. Listen, I really appreciate you being cool about this, put you in handcuffs, and we do that for our safety and all that stuff.
Well, the reason why this is a big news story is people are complaining about the hypocrisy that Sunny Hostin is trying to use, I guess, some of her clout to get her son out of trouble. I don't think it's that big a deal. What did you think about all that?
I feel like it was so excessive that they're even doing the background check or they're running on anything. When he said I would just stay here to jog and exercise, I feel like to me, I'm like, okay, cool, sorry about that. I just felt like it was very excessive.
I know.
And then the whole infraction and having to go to court and all of that, it's a little much.
And I like to back the blue, but sometimes the blue can get a little annoying. Like in this situation, maybe if they would have found a gun on him, if they would have found maybe drugs on him,
Exactly.
I could have saw how they would have taken
He's in work. It looks like he's working out.
Yeah.
And it just... And I feel like he did do the right thing by calling his mom. And he was like, hey, I'm going to get another person involved here as like a witness in some sense. But yeah, I just feel like this was excessive.
It was excessive. And the fact that his mom's an attorney, she knows what to say. But this guy doesn't want anything on his record. I mean, it is what it is. I think it is a small summons, so his mom will be able to fight it and probably get it dismissed. And then after that, probably get it expunged. So, you know, I like to criticize a woman of the View, but I got to give Sunny a little bit of credit for protecting her son. There's a lot of parents that I know when their kids get in trouble, they're like, oh, well, just let him deal with it. He needs to learn the lesson the hard way. So I'll give you Sunny Hostin Mom of the Day award for trying to help out her son. He didn't seem like he was doing anything too illicit, in my personal opinion. I could be wrong. Maybe he was trying to go in there and light the place on fire. I don't really think so, but I'm just saying who knows what he could have done. But I think a cop could have stopped him, asked him a couple questions, and let him go about his business if he didn't see a gun or anything.
Exactly. That it just, to me, having to do the background check and look up all the information, it was just like the gate was open. I didn't realize it was private property. End of story. Okay, bye.
Yeah, and it's like he's out there obviously exercising like out in the middle of this New York City. I mean, times are crazy. You saw where that woman just in front of, I guess it was a federal building, you know, lit a trash can on fire and caused a fire. So things are very tense in New York City right now. But I guess I got to give a little credit to Sunny Hostin for...
Yes, I think she should have used the fact that she's the View host, too, because she's like, I host the View. You think my son's out here doing crazy things? Come on. No, I feel like that's what she meant by it.
And it reflects poorly on her 100%.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we got a great show for you this evening. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to be talking about the Tate brothers, of course. We got a lot of other topics that I'm telling you do not want to miss. And one thing I do want to say before we go to commercial, we have this candidate that is a transgender running for senator, and it is going to scare you when you listen to this person talk. And that's coming up right after these commercials. Hours with Alex Stein right here on Real America's Voice, and we're sitting here with my very good friend, the one, the only Lila Hart. Now, Lila, there was recently a debate for the senator of the great state of Maine, and in this debate, it looks less like a real debate and more like a Saturday Night Live sketch. And I'm not even kidding. And one of the candidates running for senator of Maine is a trans person, but Ashley Webb is her name, but you tell me if they were born with the name Ashley Webb. So let's play this clip. We got a couple of them, and I want to get your reaction, Lila.
Ashley Webb, what qualifications do you have to serve in the U.S. Senate?
Oh, I ran for office several times. Didn't win, but I did run. And then I'm a songwriter, and then I write my own books. And then I suppose my transparency, I wouldn't lie to the people, and I wouldn't deceive the people like we're being deceived right now. Like, we get lied to, smoke and mirrors, like what's going on with ICE, pretending like these victims did something wrong. Like, that's unacceptable. And I suppose the biggest thing is, like, I'm just an angry citizen now, and if I got elected, I'd be an angry senator, and I think that would probably be their worst nightmare.
Well, my favorite part of that clip is that Ashley literally said one of her campaign policies would be to not lie, yet Ashley is lying about being a woman. So already she's lying about lying. So, but you know what, Lila, hearing Ashley speak, they kind of sold me on it a little bit. I mean, I started actually kind of, back them up a little bit. She's like, you know what, I'm an angry citizen. I'll be an angry senator. Now, I don't know if they would be a very good senator, get very much done on Capitol Hill. But what did you think of just your first initial, appearance of Ashley in this debate?
Looks like a man still. Sounds like a man still. I mean, put a little bit more effort in. That is concerning. Secondly, I'm right there with you, Alex, when that person said, I will not be deceiving the people. You're deceiving yourself.
That's all you're doing is deception. Like, your whole life is a deception. You're trying to pretend to be a woman, and then they go, what are your skills? Like, well, I like to write songs. You're like, oh, well, that's great. We need a senator that's going to go up there with their banjo and fix the country by writing songs. And I agree that music has a lot of power, but I just don't think any songs that Ashley would write would change the, direction of our country. But I will say this, Ashley does look like... they would like to use the women's restroom. So that would be so funny and good content. I almost want Ashley just to win so that the other female senators, the liberal female senators that try to defend this nonsense would have to use the restroom next to Ashley. And let me tell you something, Ashley has not missed a meal their entire life. And I can only imagine the plumbing. Yeah, that's a fact. I could only imagine what Ashley would do to the plumbing in those 250-year-old buildings. So now let's play this clip of what Ashley would do in regards to how she would fix the deficit.
I think cutting spending, looking for waste, fraud, and abuse. That's the best way to cut the spending. A lot of money's being paid for the reflecting pool. We paid that contract to redo the reflecting pool, and it didn't fix the problem. It still has algae growing in it. Anybody who knows a pool knows that's going to grow if you're not properly filtering the pool water.
That I'm going to jump in because that is a microscopic amount of money compared to what the federal budget is. Give me some proposals that would have a real impact either in spending cuts or in increased taxes.
Well, when a bill gets passed, sometimes they tack on extra incentives to get senators to vote on these bills. I believe for the Obamacare, it was one group got youth arrows added to the bill. That should have been added. Like, that's an extra expense that wasn't part of the health care bill that Americans wanted. I believe they called it pork bellying. By cutting out the pork bellying from all the bills, I'm sure that would save a lot of money as well, but...
Ashley's starting to make a lot of sense. She's going to get the algae out of the, what is it called now? I don't even remember the name of the in front of the Lincoln Memorial. What is it called? The pool, the reflecting pool. She's going to get the algae out of the reflecting pool, but does she not realize that people are going and putting in chemicals to add more algae? I mean, that is the most sabotaged reflecting pool in the whole entire world. I feel bad for Donald Trump for just trying to fix something, and then you got every freaking activist in the world trying to pee in it or do whatever they can to try to, make sure that it has more bacteria than Ashley's underwear. So I don't know. I kind of do like Ashley. Where are you on Ashley? Are you sold yet? If you were able to vote in Maine with an illegal mail-in ballot, would you consider putting Ashley Webb on your ballot?
Absolutely not.
No, no.
Absolutely not. First of all, the dress is hideous. The hair is hideous. There's no makeup. If there was another woman on that panel, or a real woman was on that panel, she should have said that I am offended that you're wearing that outfit and talking about being a woman or pretending to be a woman. And secondly, she really was talking about pork belly. You are the pork belly.
She is a pork belly. But I have to give you a little kickback. I thought that dress is very flattering. Can we
Absolutely
see that?
not.
Look at that dress. Look at that. That's very flattering on them. It's a little low cut, and they shave their mustache. I mean, I'm not into trans, but if, after a couple margaritas, I might see that at the nightclub and be like, hey, come over here, Ashley. And then I would smell the halitosis.
That looks and sounds like a man and probably smells like a man. There's nothing about that says woman. They didn't even put any effort in, and then have the audacity to talk about the reflective pool being dirty. Look at yourself. Have a look in the mirror.
Well, to be fair, Ashley's going to use a reflecting pool to take baths. She doesn't fit in a normal sized bathtub, so she probably needs a reflecting pool to be clean so that she can get clean. Now, this next clip is even crazier. This is her appearance on a podcast, and she's just like, it's just a gross appearance overall. Let's just play it.
I would feel really good on like the 15th day of every cycle, and it was a 29-day cycle that I was experiencing.
I mean, this sounds pretty cycly there. So
and then
let me read you.
I was going to
go ahead.
during that time. Like I also leak like a mucus, which they can't really explain.
Oh, interesting.
So Ashley is claiming there that Ashley has her menstrual cycle, and that when she has it, it's not bloody. I guess it's a mucusy cycle. What do you think about that as a woman?
That sounds like fecal discharge. Okay, that is disturbing. That's disgusting. And they're not having a menstrual cycle, and if whatever hormones they're on is not working, because the voice sounds like a man. Still looks like a man. They are not having a menstrual cycle. This person has deep delusions. This is a delusional mental patient. They're like that guy that you were talking about before.
Daniel Larson?
Yes, they should be buddies.
Well, I like Ashley Webb. So, Ashley, if you're watching this, I want to invite Ashley Webb on this program anytime. And, Ashley, I just want to say that I fully endorse you for Senator of Maine. If you really look at all the senators that we currently have, I believe there are 2 from each state, and these senators can't even get the SAVE Act passed. They can't even get it where you show a basic ID to go vote. So I don't think Ashley would actually be for that policy either, but at least Ashley would make every other senator's life a little more hellish, and to me, that seems like a victory, because all of these politicians on Capitol Hill think that they're so important. They think that they're so powerful. Well, I'd like to cut them down a notch and have them have to deal with Ashley and represent Ashley, even though I know that, you know, the trans agenda is infecting young school children, and that it's demonic, and that it's anti-God, and it goes against everything natural in this world. To me, I love to go to city council meetings. I love to go to even, you know, Senate committee hearings, and I love to go to any meetings where I can go and basically troll politicians. And I don't think there would be a bigger troll on Capitol Hill, literally bigger troll, because I think Ashley's 400 pounds, than Ashley Webb. So am I crazy because I'm endorsing Ashley Webb for Senator of Maine?
Well, it belongs in a mental institution, but
I would argue that a lot of those politicians on Capitol Hill belong in a mental institution. Ashley's probably more sane than half of those senators. I mean, let's be real. I forget it was AOC went viral for talking about how one of these congresswomen didn't show up for 80 days and didn't even, you know, their staffers didn't know. So half the time these politicians, once they get voted in, they go there. They don't have, they're just like a wallflower. They just basically try to hide and not even get noticed, and then just take money from their special interest groups. So I don't really trust a politician as far as I can throw one. If I had to guess, out of the, you know, over 400 congressmen and then the 100 senators, about 10 to 15 are actually probably okay people. I mean, Madison Cawthorn even said a lot of these congressmen and women are, you know, having sex parties and doing all kinds of barbiturates, and, you know, they pretend to be one thing in front of the camera, then they get off camera, and next thing you know, they're, you know, hanging out with people like Jeffrey Epstein and trafficking Lord knows what. So really and truly, I know I like to be a little sarcastic on this show, but nothing at this moment right now would make me happier than Ashley Webb winning. So do you think she has a chance after that great performance, or do you think that debate hurt her chances in her upcoming election?
Well, I'll say this, Alex. Ashley definitely is a man, because only a man would have that level of confidence to look that hideous and still claim to be a woman.
That's a fair point. That is a fair point. I mean, they're having a mucus 28-day mucus discharge. So I don't know.
That's fecal matter.
I think that's femininity described in the most beautiful way possible. So that's my personal opinion. I guess we're just going to have to agree to disagree. Okay, guys, coming up next, we got to talk about this. This is a huge story. Did you see the Tate brothers, not just Andrew, but Tristan Tate, were both arrested, and now they're being extradited back to the United Kingdom for alleged videos of child abuse. It's pretty crazy stuff. We're going to get into it right after these commercials. Thank you guys so much for joining us here on Real America's Voice. You're watching After Hours with Alex Stein and my very good friend Lila Hart with us in studio. Now, Lila, before we get into the clips, like, what is your opinion of the Tate brothers? Do you have a strong opinion of them? Do you think that they are good for the manosphere? A lot of people have criticisms because they started off making money by convincing vulnerable women to do cam work. And if you're not familiar with cam work, that's where women go on camera and they do, you know, sexual stuff. Let's just try to keep it PG-13. But what was kind of weird about this is the Tates and, you know, Andrew and Tristan, is that they said that they would have the women on camera in one room, but they would be on the keyboard typing this stuff to the guys. So theoretically, it's kind of gay, right? Because there's guys, you're messaging sexual words and do this, and the guys think they're talking to a girl, but really they're talking to Andrew Tate. And I know that it is very lucrative for both of them to do that, but I would say that's pretty scummy to be having cyber sexual relations with men, whether or not there was a naked woman in the other room that they were watching.
Yeah, that's how a lot of them operate.
OnlyFans and all that.
Yeah, it's not, you're not talking to the girl. You are talking to a call center in Bangladesh or in the Philippines who are pretending to be the girl.
Well, what's less gay, though? The AI pretending to be the girl or the Bangladeshi guy pretending to be the girl? Because I would say it's less gay if you're talking to the AI and looking at the naked woman. But what do you think? Is it gay if it's a Bangladeshi guy? Even though you're looking at a female, you're looking at it, you're a heterosexual man, and you're looking at a naked woman, and you're, ooh, this is so great, and she's listening to my commands, and they tell her to eat a banana or whatever. We're gonna give it PG-13, but really the whole time you're talking to AI. I feel like that's probably not gay, but if it is a Bangladeshi man, even though there is a naked woman involved, it is gay. What do you think about that?
I think it's all gay.
It is pretty
You're talking to a robot or a man in Bangladesh. That's gay.
It's gay, you're right. It's all very gay. Okay, well, let's play this clip from ABC talking about the Tates getting arrested.
Andrew and Tristan Tate are back in custody. The controversial social media influencers were arrested Saturday night in Miami after British prosecutors announced a sweeping new case against the brothers and said they will seek their extradition to the UK. Prosecutors say the new indictment includes dozens of charges, including rape, sex trafficking, and offenses involving indecent images of a child, stemming from alleged crimes between 2010 and 2017 involving 7 alleged victims.
Now, I don't want to start off by defending the Tate brothers immediately. Those charges did look very bad, but when you do a little research into it, and of course, anything with a child, I believe you should be under the jail, not in the jail. I'm not okay with anything happening to a child. But allegedly, the people that were in these videos were willing participants. I know that they use rape a lot, and I guess a willing participant can be raped, but what I'm trying to articulate is that these charges are based on stuff that was filmed for content that they sold on pornographic websites. So there is an argument to be made what is real and what is fake in these videos, and I'm not even trying to defend them. What I'm trying to say is all those allegations look very bad, but from my research that I've done, the majority of those women were willing participants in this, I guess, sex world or cam. I don't even know how to describe it. I mean, I'm saying they were all basically prostitutes at the end of the day. Online prostitutes, right?
If they were willing participants and they chose to do this as adults, then I don't believe they should be in trouble. If they chose to do this and it was a choice that they made.
But you can also, the people that are watching should be, well, they could have been influenced, they could have been pressured, and I think that, is all possible. But once you sign up to be on a cam website, I mean, let's not act like you're Mother Teresa. I think you're something much, much different. But let's hear what the lawyer, Joseph McBride, had to say about these charges.
The allegations, their first reaction to the allegations is the first reaction that any innocent man or woman would have. It's garbage. It's a stitch-up job. They're after us. to punish us with the process. The process is the punishment. When you drag somebody's name through the media, when you slander them, when you defame them, when you accuse them of heinous and terrible allegations, the process becomes the punishment until you can clear your name. They've been clearing their names domestically and abroad for years. This is just the next logical conclusion in that situation. Keir Starmer just retired or is retiring. I'm sure he's mad that Andrew and Tristan Tate had a lot to do with his fall in Great Britain. And there's a new guy in there right now. But this is the last vestige of attack of a prime minister who didn't do a good job, and he continues to do bad work, and I'll just leave it there. Innocent until proven guilty. We're going to let the court process play out here the way that it should. We're happy to be here.
Now, these are very serious charges, and they are going to get extradited to the UK. And anytime you hear of charge of rape or, a child rape, I mean, that's the most horrible thing a person can do. So I'd like to see how this actually shakes out in court because, I mean, what Jeffrey Epstein was doing was so bad, taking these kids on islands. And I'm not saying that they did the same thing, but if they were doing something similar to what Jeffrey Epstein was doing, then I'm okay with him going to jail. But I just want to know the facts because it does seem like the Tates are very influential, and there are a lot of people that don't like that their influence encourages people to be, more masculine and go against the government and kind of act more conservative. So there is some sort of motivation from the left, the people like Keir Starmer, and I'm not saying that it's just him is the only reason that they're getting punished for these potential crimes. But the fact that they moved to Romania, to me, was always kind of a red flag. And, if they weren't guilty of anything, why were they living in a place like Romania, which is kind of sketchy, to say the least? I mean, it's a nice country, I guess, but it's not Miami. If they were totally innocent, why weren't they living in a place like Miami or New York or California? So it seemed like they knew that they were doing something nefarious, and that is why they were living in a country like Romania. So what is your opinion after hearing what the lawyer had to say?
It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out because the Tate brothers did take the world by storm at one point, and they were very influential and almost like in a leadership type of way, you know what I mean? So
they led the manosphere, basically.
Yeah, and I still think it's disturbing to find out like that's how they made their money is by using these women and then talking. I don't know. The whole thing is just.
Did you not know that? You didn't know that?
I found that out later on, but because when I first came across their videos, I was like, wow, they're very well spoken, and it seemed really positive. Of like,
he's a kickboxer. See, that's when I first saw. That's how I found him. I saw all these TikTok videos. He's going viral, and they're like, Andrew Tate's with all these hot ladies. He's
he's very charismatic.
Bugatti, and he's with these hot babes, and he's jacked up. But then he actually had a professional fight that he lost recently. So he's not as great a kickboxer as he pretended to be. But, they were very influential, and people don't like when other people have influence, especially over young people. So I can see why they consider the Tate brothers a threat. And if they are guilty of these crimes, then they should be punished for them. But I also know that we have a society that is corrupt, and there are corrupt people in power. So I want to see them get their day in court. I just want to know what really happened. Because
they're digital pimps.
They are digital pimps.
Yeah.
They're digital pimps, and that's not a good thing. I'm not a digital pimp, even though I am a pimp on a blimp. That's a metaphor for a totally different thing that has nothing to do with sex. But when it comes to the Tate brothers, they are very controversial. This is a national, global story that people are talking about, so I'm interested in seeing how it all shakes out. But they were already arrested in Romania for months and months and months, and I believe all the charges in that case got dropped. So they didn't find them guilty in that case, and I think that there is a potential chance that they find them innocent in this case, but I don't know that. I'm just speculating that because, like I said, the little research that I have done on this is that these are videos that they posted online themselves. Like these aren't secret tapes that the FBI wiretapped them. These are allegedly the content that they were selling to other people. But let's play one more clip of the CBS reporting about it.
The Tate brothers are dual U.S. and British citizens. It may take months for the judge to decide the UK's extradition request, but the ultimate decider could be Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who has the power to deny the request.
So they're dual citizens, but today we got the latest news that Donald Trump is going to let them be extradited to the UK. So not looking good for Andrew and Tristan Tate. I know they're not happy right now being locked behind bars, not driving around in Bugattis with, hot babes. But, sometimes you fly too close to the sun. What happened to Icarus's wings? They melted. So we have to play it cool. Sometimes in life, you make mistakes, and we learn from those mistakes. I just want to know if they were actually breaking the law. And so that is what I'm most curious to learn about this, and I think you would agree.
Yes.
Like, we just want to know the truth.
And if they are found innocent, I just hope people just leave them alone because, like you said, I don't know.
Well, but if they're found innocent, I think it makes them stronger, right?
Yeah, it does, but leave them alone. Stop trying to put them in jail.
They're always trying to put them in jail. They're all, and it's funny. Like the government acts like they're always trying to protect kids and children.
They're not.
That the government is not. We've arrested one person from the Epstein files. So I mean, if this is what they're going to give us instead of their real names on the Epstein list, give me a break. I mean, I guess this is some sort of consolation prize. But I'm not going to defend the Tates right now. But I'm also not going to accuse them of being, rapists yet until I know more about the situation. So whether or not you like Tristan or Andrew Tate, that is your opinion. My opinion is let's let the facts and evidence speak for itself before we make our decision on whether or not they are guilty. All right, guys, coming up next, we got to talk about AOC comes out with a new accent. I like that. She's got a little Memphis twang to her southern swang, and I like that. My favorite big booty Latina is coming up right after these commercials. Thank you guys so much for staying up late and watching After Hours with Alex Stein right here on Real America's Voice. And you guys always ask me, Alex, how do you do it? And I'll tell you, this is my secret. It is called Soldier Fuel. It is the most delicious energy drink known to man. It is 0 sugar, 5 total calories of some of the most powerful energy elixir you can put in your body. And one great thing about this company is that 15% of the proceeds actually go to help out our military vets. So if you care about our military, if you care about Real America's Voice, if you care about After Hours with Alex Stein, please go to buysoldierfuel.com and order some today. Or if you have Amazon Prime, order some Soldier Fuel and have it at your house in under 48 hours. And I'm not kidding when I say not only is it delicious, but it will give you the stamina of like 10,000 horses. I mean, I have like half a can of this stuff and I can't sleep at night. So sometimes I'm like, man, I mean, this is why they give this. They say the soldiers on our battlefield actually drink it because they donate it to our soldiers. So this is some serious stuff. This is not to be taken lightly. So, drink some of this delicious stuff, but maybe don't give it to your 1-year-old baby or anything like that. All right, now let's get back into the show. Lila, you know who my favorite big booty Latina is?
Oh, yeah.
AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And one of my favorite things that she does, it's called code switching. And do you know what code switching is? Mm-hmm. It's like when a black guy is like, yo, what up? And then all of a sudden the black guy starts talking like white, Carlton. And I can do it. I can code switch her. I'm like, hello, I'm Alexander Stein. Nice to meet you. And then I can code switch and be like, yo, what a dog? Yo, I'm the pimp on a blimp. Always eating that steak and shrimp. I'm trying to do that. Let me get that money on it. Everybody can code switch a little bit, okay? So, it's not just, regulated to Hispanics, African Americans, whites. Everybody likes to code switch a little bit. But AOC is a master code switcher, and she was recently at a rally in Memphis, and her Southern Swang came out. I didn't know they had the Southern Swang in Brooklyn, New York. Let's play the clip.
We cannot afford to leave Tennessee behind. We cannot afford to leave Kentucky behind, Alabama behind, Mississippi behind, Georgia behind, South Carolina behind.
Well, I like that behind. I mean, gosh, she got so mad at me for calling her a big booty Latina, and the only thing she's got on her mind is the behind. But in that clip, what did you think? We can't leave them behind. Can't leave them behind. I mean, I love it. That AOC she's going to be the vice president in 2028, Lila. I have zero doubt in my mind. I know a lot of people think I'm crazy, and I am crazy, but I do think that their roster is so thin when it comes to the left that they really don't have anybody with any charisma. And yes, we can watch this clip, and yes, she's acting like a goofball, but really, I mean, we just watched a transgender man go up there and run for Senate. So AOC looks a billion times better than Ashley Webb, whoever the heck that gargoyle was, running for senator of Maine. So what did you think about her accent flip?
I thought that was funny. I think she's great. She's got charisma and personality, and her people love her.
But her politics, this is one thing about her politics. I don't agree with them. Now this big socialist push where everybody likes Mom Donnie and this and that, and now they want, free everything. To me, it seems like her time on Capitol Hill, and I can't believe I'm even defending her, it seems like she is actually becoming more conservative, or at least trying to appeal to conservatives. And this is why I do think she is a serious political threat, because there's a populist movement the populist movement is arguably the biggest movement. That's the reason why Donald Trump won in 2016, because he overtook the populist movement. So you get those people that are, whether you call them uneducated voters, voters that don't care, people that are just don't pay attention. She can potentially get them on her side and seriously win an election. And she's been very popular at all of her rallies. I mean, you saw that rally. It looked like it was pretty full. So I think she is an actual force to be reckoned with. And if she becomes vice president, our country is probably not going to be better off, but at least we'll have a nice big booty Latina in office. We'll have a lot of frijoles, and it'll have Taco Tuesday. It'll be even better. So what do you think about AOC actually becoming a vice presidential candidate in 2028?
Well, I think for comedy-wise, it'd be great.
See, that's what I'm thinking, too. That's why I want Ashley Webb and AOC. I need them both to run.
Okay, you got me there, then. If we're talking comedy, then they both can win.
Because she is a goofball, and she was basically, a lot of people don't realize that there's a Netflix documentary about AOC and how she won and how she became a congresswoman. And they literally had a casting call. Like, there was flyers all over Brooklyn, like looking for somebody that's progressive, looking for somebody that's young, looking for somebody that's, like impassioned. And the people that were in the leader of the Progressive Party in New York City actually fielded, candidates, and they liked her the most, and they decided to put their money and spending behind AOC. So she was literally casted. This is not a conspiracy. You can watch this documentary. I think she kind of even admits it. I mean, she doesn't say she was casted like it was a play, or casted like in a movie, or casted in like a Toyota commercial. But basically, that's exactly what it was. She was casted to be this part, and she plays it pretty well, considering, like I said, there's over 400 congressmen and women, and only about 20 of them are famous. And it doesn't take a brain to be a politician, sadly. You think that they would have to pass an IQ test. They don't. And AOC is halfway attractive, more than halfway attractive, so beautiful. That's going to help her. So we've never seen a woman, she's dumb on geopolitics. They ask her, and, they go to these meetings and they ask her about NATO and stuff, and she doesn't know what countries in South America. She doesn't know what countries. But most people don't know some of those hard questions she gets asked. So, you know what? Maybe that makes her more relatable to the average person. So, Vice President AOC, I'm worried, is a strong possibility, but for the content, for me,
be so good.
It would be so good.
So good.
It benefits me, and if she's going to go on the campaign trail and go, we can't leave Mississippi behind, we can't leave Alabama behind, we can't leave Tennessee behind, we can't leave Texas behind. Baby, we can't leave you behind either. That's what I'm saying. So AOC, looks like you might be the VP. All right, now this next clip. Are you familiar with Clavicular? Lila?
Unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately, are you kidding? He's my role model.
I feel like I used to just be like forced upon me with everything on Twitter. Everybody's sharing it.
I'm
now
about to
talking
get
about
liposuction. I'm about to get my ears tucked. I'm about to get more frame max. Like, I'm doing everything I can. Look, this is like I'm frame maxing like clavicular, and I'm trying to be a little senior clavicular. He's much younger than me, but I look up to him.
He took it too far, Alex.
I don't think he's taken it far enough. But listen, so he recently went to Israel and he was being interviewed, and in the interview they tried to get him to apologize for him going to a nightclub and playing a controversial song that referenced Hitler. And I have to give him credit. He refused to apologize, and he ended the interview early, which I got to give him. That's some integrity right there, right? Instead of just kowtowing.
True.
But he was forced to stay in his hotel room the entire time because they were worried that the citizens of Israel might do something to him. And listen, a lot of people get blamed and accused of anti-Semitism, and oftentimes they're told that they got to go on one of these tours to Israel. And I can't even say it. Clavicular decided to go on this re-education tour to Israel, and it didn't go so well. And Piers Morgan pressed him about it. Let's play the clip.
There's a 41% chance you might visit Russia in 2026. Yeah. Is that true?
Yeah, I wanna visit Russia. I think that's another controversial place. And I'm views maxing at the end of the day. So I'm using politics and what people say about these different countries as a way to engagement for them. But really, you could attribute all these trips to just exploring different nightlife and doing a bit of tourism.
Right. So I would say, okay, but you're going to go to Russia as you've been to Israel. Well, why not go to Ukraine and go to Gaza?
Well, probably because they're losing.
Well, I think he says because Gaza doesn't have any nightclubs. So, listen, Clavicular calls it like he sees it. He says he's just trying to engagement farm, and it's winning, and Piers Morgan's having him on his show. So, it looks like Clavicular won that debate. He's trying to hold him, hold his feet to the fire. Well, you're going to go to Russia, and he's just being honest. Yeah, because I'm trying to engagement farm. I'm trying to get clicks on the internet. I'm trying to make money, honey, just like you, Piers. And the only difference between you and me, Piers, is I'm honest about it. So, I got to give Clavicular a lot of credit for at least being honest that he's just trying to rage bait and engage a farm. And really, at the end of the day, on this attention economy that we live in, he's doing a great job at that. Okay, so enough Clavicular. Now we got to get to my favorite congresswoman from Texas, Jasmine Crockett. And what she said here was exceptional. She said that if you're cheering for Spain, that was somehow racist. Let's play the clip.
The World Cup that captured the imaginations of the entire world when they saw all of these people of color that was playing for all these teams. And ultimately, if you recall, the last two teams, it was Argentina and Spain. And it seemed like the vast majority of the world was rooting for Argentina, or actually against Argentina, right? And why was that? Just give me an explanation if you could guess, if you'll just let them finish the answer.
Spain had the best team. Maybe that's why they were rooting for them.
There's also a racist history that exists.
Mr. Byer, you're recognized.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my God! Everything is about race for this woman. She didn't even know her own point. She's like, "Well, why are people rooting for them? Why are people rooting for her?" So, Jasmine Crockett, I'm so sad to see you go. Her time as a congresswoman is going to be over here in January. They have the elections in November, and she didn't win her primary. So we're not going to get any more great sound bites like that from my favorite ghetto stiletto queen, the one, the only Jasmine Crockett. Okay, Lila, before we go, I know you're going to be back on the road when, August 19th?
August 19th, Washington State. Come see me and the rest of the micro maidens. We're going to be short maxing. Okay.
Short maxing. I like that. That's funny. Short maxing. You need to use that on stage. You have to add that. You got to add short maxing. That's great. Now, that's actually very funny. And so if you guys want to go catch Lila, that will be in August. And also, I want to shout out The latest from DVS 7.0. He is an artist here at Real America's Voice. He is part of our Real America's Music division, and he has a great new song called Fables. And the reason why this song is good is because, listen, it's faith-based. It's not demonic-based. You're not going to get a bunch of that weird, demonic filth or sexual talk from this type of music. It's music that you can play around your family, and it's rap. So it's cool. It's not dorky. Not calling Christian music dorky. There's actually a lot of good Christian music, but this is a different spin on faith-based music, and that's why I like Real America's Voice for promoting artists like DVS 7.0 to be specific. So hit the QR code, download Fables today, and we will see you guys tomorrow night.